Third Jesus on enlightenment. So do not worry about tomorrow. This is my favorite, by the way, this particular one. Everybody worries these days. Everybody has mental challenges, depression, worry, anxiety, hostility, guilt, shame, mistrust has become a pandemic in our times. So 2,000 years plus ago, Jesus said, so do not worry about tomorrow. Let's apply this teaching. Trust in the organizing power of the universe. So Jesus explicitly told his followers not to earn a living, save money, plan ahead, or worry about the future. Sounds ridiculous, right? The quoted phrase is a fragment of that teaching, but the rest of the Sermon on the Mount reinforces this point again and again. If he was offering one of his most radical injunctions, it also became the least followed. Witness today's anxiety and pandemic of anxiety. Like everyone else, Christians worry, plan, earn a living, and amass money and possessions. This teaching isn't visible to everyone, and it is not viable in ordinary consciousness. Yet, if you apply it on the spiritual path, asking for change beyond the ordinary, something new begins to emerge. A random, mindless universe is transformed into a safe haven, a home for every person filled with life's necessities. Jesus called this safe haven providence because its purpose is to provide. Providence, to provide. Learning to trust providence is a process. The old ways to which you are used to clinging gradually change. Even though Jesus tells his disciples to divest themselves of their money and possessions, I think we must assume a special relationship there. They had an enlightened teacher to guide them into far more radical change than any of us would be prepared for. Yet we need to be true to the underlying meaning of this teaching. God or the divine can be trusted. Your ego does not need to take over the function of providence. There are other ways to attain life's abundance. So this teaching is about abundance. Let's do this exercise. If you take Jesus literally, the most direct way not to worry about tomorrow is to live in the present. Only the present is real. It contains the fullness of the world and the fullness of spirit at the same time. But the present is elusive. We all lead our lives by remembering the past and anticipating the future. Therefore, the real and unreal are blended, intertwined, entangled. They are so entangled, in fact, that the present must be retrieved piecemeal. You cannot leap into it all at once. If you examine it one quality at a time, the present moment is composed of the following: alertness, being awake; openness, or being free from expectations; freshness, not being overshadowed by the past; innocence, not judging from old experience; spontaneity, allowing new impulses to come in without criticism or censorship; fearlessness, the absence of traumas from the past, or actually transcending the traumas of the past; replenishing, the capacity to grow and renew oneself from within. All of these qualities are present inside you. Young children display them all the time before they are bamboozled by social constructs. So your aim isn't to learn how to be spontaneous, innocent, fearless, and the rest, but to uncover them once more, remembering your original state. Right now, the present moment is full for you, but in an unreal way. It is full of memories, expectations, projected beliefs, and past conditioning. The present moment could be full in a different, far more real way, though all the qualities and all these qualities would blossom naturally as the natural expression of your being. You must challenge yourself to move from the unreal to the real. Take any quality on the list I mentioned and look at how you rely on its opposite. Dull instead of alert, closed off instead of open, stale instead of fresh, knowing instead of innocent, planned or routine instead of spontaneous, anxious instead of fearless, depleting instead of replenishing. These opposite qualities come from the part of you that thinks it knows about life already. The ego relies on the familiar. It is reluctant to experience the unknown, which is the very essence of life. There is no such thing as knowing how to be spontaneous or knowing how to be innocent. By definition, a spontaneous impulse is unpredictable, and that is creativity. You can't take the spiritual journey without a foot in two boats. I'm going to repeat that because misspoken. You can't take the spiritual journey with a foot in two boats. It's futile to try to find a compromise that includes knowingness and innocence, anxiety and fearlessness, or any other pair of opposites. The only way to retreat the present is to clear out the past, which means whatever is routine, dull, knowing, calculated, anxious, and traumatic. You cannot manufacture innocence, for example, by removing its opposite, knowingness. But by removing its opposite, which is knowingness, you leave a space so that innocence can express itself once more. When confronted with someone you think you know very well, whose behavior is predictable, don't react at first. Leave a place for something new in your perception of that person. Ask a new kind of question and see what happens. The same process can be applied to every other quality of the present moment. Distance yourself from the past, and in that way, something unexpected will happen, something unexpected and creative. So do not worry about tomorrow.